Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Sarah Uncut, where I'm going to be talking to you about the importance of team. Now, before we get started, I have to acknowledge my backdrop. I know it's not the lush usual scene from the East Coast, or rather my pretty pink office. It's a little bit different. We are in my Los Angeles home here in the kitchen. It's a little echoey in here, but you know what a girl's got to do, what a girl's got to do. This is what we do when life happens, right? Anyway, so here I am in Los Angeles, taking care of the business, doing what we need to do. And if for 2 seconds you think I'm doing that alone, you're crazy. So in this episode, we'll talk a little bit about team, and we'll give you a little bit of insight into how you can make sure you have team set up for you too. All right, so the very first thing I did when the world blew up for me, when my world blew up, obviously, is we take care of family first. Now, people don't think of family as team, or at least I haven't heard a lot of people talk about family as team, but it is, right? If you think about the teamwork that has to go on, whether that's extended family, sometimes it's our friends, which we talked about in family time in the last episode, right? It doesn't have to look anyway, but when we can sort of think about family as team, it kind of opens up new possibilities and new ways to look at who can do what. And I'll give you just a quick example. I have 2 one-on-one clients I'm working with right now who are really struggling with going back into the office since COVID, right? Like, these are things that we all have to do. We have to kind of figure out how to make our lives work the way they used to, but we don't quite want them to work the way they used to. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's kind of like, do we have to go back to that? No, we don't, first of all. And for B, there's a new way to set it up. So when I talk about family as team, what both of these clients are doing this week, which is really exciting, is they're sitting down with their families and saying, listen, you're now responsible for the laundry. You are now responsible for these meals, like say Tuesday and Thursday, you're responsible for all the meals. Here's the amount of money that you get to make that meal happen. And we're teaching these kids how to be responsible and how to participate in their own homes. For those of you that don't have children, but maybe have romantic partners or people that you're living with, whether they're roommates or otherwise, right? Where it's like, is the division of responsibility clear? And I have found a lot of times when we feel like our lives aren't working or things start to kind of bump into each other or things, it's like clumsy. It's because team isn't clear. And by team, what I'm saying is like a serious, honest breakdown of who's responsible for what. I mean, that's really what team is. If you think about it, right? If you look at a team, each individual person inside the team is responsible for one section. And that's what makes the whole thing work. So it's not as mysterious as like team, like a baseball team, right? When you're looking at your family, you might be looking at 2 or 3 people. Or if you have a huge family like I grew up with, you're looking at 15, 16 people, right? It depends on what that family unit looks like, but that each person has a responsibility that they are clear about and that they know how to take care of. So the first thing we look at when we look at a woman's life, when we look at team, is we look at family, we look at the home structure. And the reason that I like to do it that way isn't because a woman's place is in the home. Oh, please, dear God, if you've been following me, you know that's not the reason, right? Oh my goodness. I almost just made a whole other uncut right there just for you. Anyway, so no, it's not because of that. It's because we have more connective tissue in between our 2 hemispheres. I talked about that a lot during Coffee with Coach when we did that during the pandemic, about how we're able to keep more conversations in our head at one time. It's that old joke about what is it really like to be in a woman's head? It's like having 85 tabs open in a browser. That's because that's what we do. We do so many things at once. And for us, a lot of the weight in our heads, right? A lot of that, like the thoughts and ideas and concerns that are taking up space have to do around family and home. And so we want to get that part handled first, not because that's our job, though it does fall to us, right? But because that will give us the most peace, right? That's what allows us to be the most productive. So we want to make sure that piece is taken care of first. And that can look like making sure, by the way, you guys, it's also about making sure you have time to sort of breathe. And I know there's a lot of women watching this video that sneak chocolate in the laundry room. I know I totally just busted you, but you know who you are, right? Like, and the people I haven't even met yet go, you guys just went, oh my God, how did she know that? Right? Anyway, so it's about those moments to yourself too, because women, because we do give so much, because we have this, you know, the more connective tissue between our hemispheres, it's a physiological thing. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's awesome. But that we want to understand that so we know how to support ourselves through it. So once we get that piece handled, The next thing is making sure the business team is handled. And the reason I say that is business team, I know there's people who watch this who are senior executives and people who watch me that are just starting businesses and people who watch me who are mid-level in their own businesses and they're trying to grow and expand and take on that CEO mindset. So it's the same idea, no matter which one of those three you're in, that you take on the CEO mindset. And the CEO mindset is never, ever, ever, how can I do everything ever? Because the CEO gets that is the first way to tank a business. The first way to tank something is to try to do everything yourself. And CEOs understand that. Now, it doesn't mean you're not scrappy, and it doesn't mean there aren't times that we pick ourselves up by not even bootstraps because we don't have those, right? Like getting stuff done and getting scrappy and not being perfect and all those things that those of us who love to explore and expand we understand that. We're comfortable with the idea that things aren't going to be perfect. But what we're not always comfortable with is this idea that we can have team. Because so often people say things like, oh, I can't have team because I can't afford it. I can't hire more people because, I don't have the income for it. And that may very well be true in the beginning. That can be accurate. And I'm going to tell you, get creative. There are people out there who want to support your business, who love what you do, I want you to think of the people that reply to your mass emails. Those ones, the ones who are constantly replying to. I want you to think about the people on your team, if you're an executive, that are constantly reaching out, asking what they can do. So that even if maybe you don't have the bandwidth right now to hire somebody else, there's ways to get creative in the way that responsibilities are distributed throughout your business. So I'm going to speak now to the entrepreneurs specifically, right? So let's say you're one of those, you're getting scrappy and you're like, oh my God, life just happened. I'm trying to expand teams. Sarah told me I have to figure out what team is I'd like for you, number one, become a Game On Girlfriend member, because the second you do that, P.S., there's a link under here, to become a Game On Girlfriend member, the second you become a member, I gift you for free a lesson on how to understand financially when you can hire people. Right? So that you understand what an hour of your time is worth versus how much it would pay to have somebody else do it. And you will watch your business explode if you understand this concept. So go get that, okay? Please, for the love of all things, understand where your money's going in your business, because you might not be using it to the best of its ability. Okay, and money has a responsibility in your business as well. And money is also a team member inside your business. So you want to treat it with respect and love. And you also want to understand when you're wasting it by doing everything yourself and not using your time efficiently enough, time being another team member, because your time, you as the CEO, your time is the most valuable because you are the brain power. And so if your brain power is being used, consistently doing things in Canva, if you understand how much your time is worth per hour, all of a sudden doing those things in Canva, you're like, oh, hell no. You know what else happens? Paying somebody else to clean the house, paying somebody else to do the laundry, paying someone else to help with the kids, or bartering with other moms to figure out who else can help with carpool, what else can happen. That is all CEO mindset. And for most of us, like I said, when you're looking at team, when you're trying to figure that out, that's over there at home first, because that weighs more heavily on us. And then you look over at team in business and you start doing the same thing. So let's say, I'm going to use the Canva explanation again, right? So let's say you realize your time is $350 an hour based on your financial goals for your business. Like I said, I do have a mathematical formula to help you figure that out. But let's say you figure that out, right? And then you know that you can hire a designer to do it for $25 or $30 an hour. That becomes a no-brainer. No-brainer. And you might say, but Sarah, I don't have $35 yet. Do you know what's going to happen when you start paying someone that? Your mind is now free to go make more money, to create the offers that will generate more income, to produce the products that will generate more income, because your brain's free. It's not crowded up with, oh my God, did I make that image in Canva yet? See what I'm saying? So you got to start to think like a CEO and understand what team means to you. So inside of a business, I've mentioned two of the key team players. We've got time, we've got money. Okay. And the other team resources I would have you look at are design elements, anything around design that you can help with, anything around social media posting, right? Those sorts of things. And if you hate writing, seriously considering a copy editor. I personally love to write, and anything that you see is usually comes straight out of my mouth or my little fingers, because I type really fast. So I personally love it, and I love that you guys always respond. Thank you so much, by the way, to those of you who respond to my emails and say, oh my gosh, I can hear you talking. That makes me so happy. I love that, because I do that on purpose. I really want you to always have an experience of sitting down and having coffee with me, or, I don't know, when I turn my camera on, I'm just sending you a polo or I'm saying hi. Like that's what I want these Sarah Uncut videos to be for you. That's intentional on my part. So that's a piece of team for me that I won't ever pass off because that's my brainchild. That's my brain power. That's where the business expands and grows, is when I show up and I present me. Okay, so I've done that work over here, that's something I won't do. However, I suck at typos. You guys, I can't see them. I can read, and you've probably noticed, and I apologize profusely because I hate it, but I don't see them. So what do? I hire a copy editor, right? And I love her. That's also part of my team. So while I know my brain power's in the writing, my copy editor makes it look even better, and that's team. Make sense? So now I'm not rereading it going, oh my God, did I miss one? And no, I know she's got it and I can turn that over and handle it. Now my brain is freed up to go write the next course, or to get on the phone with the next one-on-one client, or to support my sprint students. Does that make sense? That's how you want to start to think about teams. We have time, we have money, we have design, we have writing, we have tech, blah. We have social media, right? We have those things, and anything that you find, people always say, do what you like, outsource what you hate doing. That's part of it, but also anything that doesn't require your specific brain, okay? You really want to start to look at what you can outsource there, and also make sure it's something that's eating into your time, right? So let's say maybe you don't enjoy sending emails, but you can do it in 2 seconds. Probably not where you want to start, because it's not eating into your time, unless you procrastinate it for days and days and you waste a lot of time beating yourself up and you go crazy, and now that's lost productivity time, right? Remember, you're a CEO. Your job is to consistently look at where things can be automated, how to make things less expensive, and how to bring in more revenue. And if those are not the things you're working on, the team isn't quite in place yet. And that's not a make wrong, like you're bad, you're wrong, not like that. I want you to look at it and go, my team's not in place yet. Okay, who's team member number 2? You're 1, by the way. So who's the second team member? Okay, I just start to bring that in because you're protecting the time and the money over here. Yeah? I hope that makes sense. This is what we do with team. And you guys, for anybody who's been like, Sarah, how's your business running? How are you posting? You guys, that's my team. That's my team. Like this awesome, by the way, I want you to know you are watching this video on an awesome ring light stand that my video editor sent me. You guys, you got to understand. She set me up for success when I didn't even know what to pack, right? Because I had to leave so fast, I didn't know what was going on, right? You got to understand you need team. And when you can't afford it, you barter, you look at who you can exchange with, bake them things, I don't care. Start to get into that mode, because once you free up your time as a CEO mind, you can start to branch out, get deeper, get smarter, make more money, and then you do pay them. Get out of that barter system as fast as you can, because we always want to honor other women and other people on our team with financial equivalency as quickly as possible. Okay? It doesn't mean we all have to start there. Like, be smart. But get there as quickly as possible, because you want to get paid for what you do too, right? That's the way this works. Always give back. All right, so I know I just rambled on. I always say this Sarah Uncut's going to be 4 minutes. 45 minutes later, right? Like, I'm just bananas. I can't stop talking because I love you so much. I hope this was super helpful. And I hope it has you starting to think about how team can support you, so that when life happens, you can still keep going.